Hello everyone! Today we're mixing things up a bit and sharing some of our life. You're welcome to join us for a winter walk. In the summer, Tallulah and I spent lots of time outdoors to get fresh air, unfiltered sun, and exercise. But we live in Canada, which means we get full-blown winter where it's too cold for Tallulah to come out on my hand for walks like she normally does. Luckily for us, Tallulah enjoys riding in my scarf, giving me a way to keep her warm and safe for winter walks. I'm going to show you how I set her up for walks, but I must stress that this is not something you should try and do with your bird unless you have an established trusting relationship and you know that they like being carried like this. Not all birds do, and that's okay. To begin, I get Tallulah in a harness or pigeon pants. It's essential when using pants that they've just been put on, so I'm not accidentally squishing poop on her butt. I always use a leash, which I anchor to my belt loop so there's no chance of dropping it. I put one end through the belt loop, and then pull the clasp through the handle and tighten it until secure. In this moment, I'm holding Tallulah with the traditional pigeon and dove hold. Her legs are just tucked back while she lays on the palm of my hand as I support her wings. This hold is very useful since it keeps the bird feeling secure, comfortable, and calm, and prevents any pressure from being put on their chest. Once the leash is in place, I'll attach it to her pants. This way, it's impossible for a leash to be detached from me unless Tallulah is already off it. I use infinity scarves as the bird sling. I prefer shorter ones that I don't need to fold, but that one's currently missing, so we're going to just use this long white one. All I do is fold it in half to make it shorter. Once I put it on, I adjust it so it'll act like a single scarf instead of two. Once she's in place, she can stand up or lay down in a different position if she wants to, but placing her in with the traditional pigeonhole prevents her feet, toes, or feathers on her legs and feet from getting caught. Now, it's very important when putting them into a scarf like this to only go in one direction, moving them forward. Their feathers can act like barbs and will get caught if they're moved backward. So if you're doing this for the first time and you make a mistake, like putting them in way too far so they're sticking out uncomfortably in the front, take them out completely before trying again. Now it's time for me to put Tallulah in. I put my free hand through the loop and transfer Tallulah to being held by that one. Then, using the newly freed hand, I'll open the scarf. I then shift Tallulah forward into place and gently lay her down the sling. If you're doing this, and you get to this point where your hands are now off, if your pigeon starts to freak out and try and climb out, that means that they're either not ready or not interested in doing this. A pigeon that enjoys this will lay calm and comfortably in place even without being restrained. Tallulah can climb out of it like this. That's actually how I get her out, by offering my hand as a platform in front of her and she'll climb out onto it. So she is choosing to be here. Sometimes she actually refuses to get out. This picture is from when we got home from a walk and she decided to nap in my scarf for almost an hour after we got home. Occasionally, she'll have days where she's not in the mood for a walk, so we just won't go. We're very lucky that today when I'm filming this video, she wants to, or this would have been a very short anticlimactic video. Now, because it's relatively cool outside, minus 2 degrees Celsius or 28.4 degrees Fahrenheit, I close the top of the scarf to keep the heat in. It also prevents snow from piling up on her back. If you do this, it is vital that the closure is not tight, either around the bird's neck or her torso. I usually use a hair clip to close this, but I lost it and I found this random ribbon, so we're going to use that instead. I'm tying a bow since it's easy to untie. You can see that I can easily fit my entire hand in the opening with room to spare. The opening is so big that she could probably climb out if she wanted to. And Tallulah gets some pets because she's perfect. At this point, the leash is hanging out the back with her tail. I take that and pull most of the slack up into the scarf with her. It's just resting on her back. This way, if something were to get caught on it, the leash would be pulled and some slack would go down instead of yanking on her. You can see how she's hanging pretty low in the scarf. That's part of why I prefer the other one, which is missing, but you can see it here. The other scarf is also wider and supports more of her body. I'll be wearing a large men's wool coat. It's warm and way too big for me, which is perfect since there's room for me to close it and not be squishing Tallulah. Remember, birds don't have diaphragms, so it's essential not to put pressure on the torsos in order for them to have room to breathe. And a jacket that's way too big gives you the room to fit the bird. You can see I also carefully moved Tallulah's tail while I put that side of the coat on. For the same reason you can't pull the birds backwards while in the scarf, you also don't want to push the coat forward onto her tail, as that would jab the tail feathers forward into her. When I button the coat just a bit under her, it helps to hold her more securely, which makes her more comfortable. Now if I lean forward a bit, she won't swing out. Having the coat closed over her will also help keep her warm, from both the coat, the scarf, and from my body heat. Because it's pretty warm right now, I won't be doing any more than this. On days where it's cooler or snowing, I'll add 1 or 2 extra wool scarves wrapped around the front of Tallulah. No more layers between her and my body though, to keep the heat transferring for extra warmth. When it's cold or snowing, she also sits more deeply in the scarves, and will often tuck her head under a flap of scarf so she can look out at the world and won't have snow landing on her head. Now that she's all set up, it's time to go for a walk. hope you enjoyed that video. We definitely enjoyed the walk. It got hot at the end there, so you could see I opened my jacket and took the ribbon off the top of the scarf so Tallulah wouldn't get hot. She stood near the front of the scarf like that for the rest of the walk back. If you have any questions, or there's any topics you'd like to see in future videos, leave those in the comments below. Please like and subscribe if you'd like to see more videos. And Tallulah and I will see you in the next one.